Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. My name is Assistant Professor Dr. Mohammad Gaith Mahaini. I am a faculty member in the Department of Islamic Economics and Finance in Istanbul Sabahattin Zaim University.
My first question is, could you briefly explain what makes the Islamic Economics and Finance program unique compared to the traditional Economics and Finance program?
We don't only teach the Islamic economics, but we teach both the conventional aspect of Islamic economics and finance, and we teach the Islamic knowledge or the Islamic response to the contemporary economic theories such as capitalism and socialism. We try to explain why we need to have such program or such economic system and the differences between the Islamic system and the other systems, and we also teach our students how does that reflect to the financial world and bank, for example, banking, financial services, insurance, and other financial related services. And this basically allows our student to not only understand the conventional knowledge, but also understand the Islamic response to it, which might be more suitable to solving the contemporary financial crises all over the world.
How does the program integrate Islamic principles with modern financial practices?
Well, we teach contemporary knowledge. Of course, I'm talking about contemporary economics and finance. As I said, we teach the conventional perspective, and we teach the Islamic solution to it. Of course, we also teach some of the Islamic financial contracts subjects, and this is basically the supportive course, but we teach courses which are considered modern, such as Islamic risk management, let's say Islamic banking, Islamic finance, and in our faculty we have an advantage of being very responsive to changes in the needs of our students, and that's why we introduced a new course called Islamic Fintech or Financial Technology. And this course basically talks about the modern technologically based financial solutions that can be offered using Islamic economics and finance. This is one of the very recent courses that has been added to our syllabus, and many universities don't even have this program. IZU, we have also continuous development to our syllabus. That's why we introduced new courses such as Islamic Fintech or Financial Technology, whereby we teach the modern technologically based financial solutions that can be offered using Islamic Economics and Finance. This is one of the very recent programs or the recent courses whereby many universities don't even offer it, and we try to be up to date with the modern development in our industry.
What are some of the biggest challenges facing the Islamic finance industry today, and how is the program preparing students to take into these issues?
One of the most important challenges that we are facing is that the executive management of many of the Islamic banks nowadays are educated from conventional education, conventional banking or conventional finance, and this is causing them to think from the mindset of a capitalistic professional. This is sometimes creating some issues like trying to copycat conventional products rather than thinking from Islamic mindset and looking to solutions that are offered by Islamic economics and finance. And this is where our program actually comes into the picture, whereby we try to train our students to think from the Islamic economics mindset, and this will help them think from or offer solutions to financial problems from Islamic perspective, purely from Islamic perspective, rather than just copying conventional products.
What is the misconception about Islamic finance that you would like to correct?
Well, a misconception that is very common is that many people think that Islamic economics and finance is all about the prohibition of riba, and that's it. Basically, you talk about Islamic economics, that it's only that riba is not, or interest is not allowed. In fact, the reality is a little bit different. Islamic Economics and Finance has a value proposition that is unique, and a side effect of this fundamental theory is the prohibition of riba, and this is what we try to teach our students. That's why we start with Islamic economics and comparative economics. We compare different economic systems to the Islamic economics, and then we introduce finance and financial products, so our students can understand the underlying reasons behind the prohibition of riba.
How do Islamic finance principles such as prohibition of the riba impact the way financial market operates?
Well, let's talk from Islamic economics perspective in the bigger picture. Islamic economics is all about promoting real production, real economic activities. So Islamic economics supports real economy rather than depending on over-financialization. If you look into the conventional system, capitalistic system right now, it's suffering from over-financialization, whereby the financial sector has become the centerpiece of the economy rather than having a supportive role. And many of the financial transactions that are happening nowadays are not necessarily linked to the real economy, such as CODs, derivatives, and things of this nature. And let's say, for example, securitization, sales of debt, which is causing a lot of financial crises, as we can see. Islamic economics is a little bit different. We look into the financial sector like a supportive role to the economy, linking deficit units and surplus units together. And this actually allows us to finance the growth of the real economy, creating real job opportunities and helping the actual societies. This is why riba or interest is prohibited, among other reasons, but this is the underlying foundation of the prohibition of riba.
What inspired you to pursue a career in Islamic Economics and Finance, and what keeps you passionate about teaching this field?
Well, I was always fascinated with economics as a social science, and this actually motivated me to study economics. However, I've always thought that our societies in the Middle East may not be receptive to the pure capitalistic mindset or even the socialist mindset. There must be some middle ground or some other alternatives that's suitable to our religion and our culture. And this is where I actually learned about Islamic economics and finance. And I pursued my knowledge in Islamic economics and finance, which allowed me to learn a lot about the Islamic solution and the problems of the current global economy. This is what we try to also help our students to understand, basically. And continuous learning is always very important. You have to always be up to date with the information, with all of the new theories about economics and Islamic economics as well.
Do you, Professor, support your students in gaining internships or job placement in the field of Islamic Economics and Finance?
Well, in my humble opinion, the program of Islamic Economics and Finance has one of the best job opportunities once the student graduates. Why I'm saying that is because of the lack of enough talent especially in the Islamic banking. But as a student, of course, students have different interests, different mindsets, different capabilities. And Islamic Economics and Finance offers a lot of job opportunities, not only in Islamic banks or participative banking, but also in takaful companies, mutual funds companies, let's say investment banking. And you can also work in traditional kind of Islamic finance institutions such as the Zakat institution or Waqf institution if it's available in your country. We can also work in international organizations such as the Islamic Development Bank or the IFSB or IOFI and other international Islamic financial institutions. This basically creates a huge job opportunities for our students. Hopefully they can benefit from that, and they basically can be employed immediately after graduation. Mostly we don't really suffer from, or our students don't really suffer from employment issues because of the huge need to Islamic Economics and Finance talents.
Okay, and the last question. What advice would you give to a prospective student who is considering the Islamic Economics and Finance program?
Well, my advice is in two parts. The first part is the academic and educational part. You need to keep following up with your studies and your classes. Of course, additional readings are always appreciated. On the other hand, you also need to take care of your social life, because university life is not only studying, it also has a social aspect. And one of the advantages that we have here in IZU is that we have a lot of international students, which basically allows you to have friendships from all over the world and get acquainted with different cultures and values. You can learn a lot from that. Of course, also being in Istanbul also is another advantage. You can also meet the Turkish people, the very kind Turkish people, and you can taste the very delicious Turkish food and walk around in this historical city. So it's basically, if you seek my advice, I advise you to have balance between your academic life and your social life, and I think IZU is the best place for that.